6:30. Gary, could you lead us in the pledge, please, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Harry. Harry's the closest one here that could remember Pearl Harbor, but he wasn't born yet, so. All right, approval of minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any issues?
Nope.
Not that I can
Negative.
find.
All right, the minutes are approved. Visitors' comments. If there's anybody in here that would like to speak to something that's not on the agenda, now would be the time. In general, if you come up and speak, please state your name and address for the record. All right, D, public hearing, consider amending chapter 110 zoning to add tattoo studios as permitted use in central business B2 and commercial C2 zones. We'll call the public hearing.
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, this is your public hearing. The request was made several weeks ago from Mr. Cantu for change in zoning. And at your last meeting, you scheduled for call for a public hearing to consider changing the zoning, I believe in 2 zones that or possibly 3 was the B2 Central Business Zone and C1 and C2. This is the first of 2 public hearings that are required, Planning Commission being the first, and then you can make your recommendation to council, and then council has a public hearing scheduled for December 20th. And I believe Mr. Cantu is in the audience tonight.
Do we have anybody that'd like to speak to this? Mr. Cantu?
Alejandro Cantu, 1201 Brazosport Boulevard. I've came up here, I've showed my business plan. I'm not really sure what to speak on.
Do you have a preference on which zoning you would prefer?
B2 for sure. B2 is just more of small business oriented, and it's just pretty much what we are. We're closer to a barber shop than we are like Walmart, you know what I mean? So that's what I would prefer.
You're good with the locations that that offers you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go around the horn then. John, you have anything?
Nothing since the last time, nope.
Jeff?
I appreciate what he did last time, and I think B2 may be where you want to be, but I think if we're going to trouble to do that, I don't mind doing it B2 and C1. I don't recall us discussing C2 last time, but B2 and C1, I thought we did look at, and we thought that would be not just for you, but potential future
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
businesses.
Yeah, I think Mr. Gilbert's correct. I probably spoke out of that. And I think the reason why the Planning Commission really considered those 2 zones is because those 2 zones currently allow service shops like hairstylists, and then a tattoo parlor seems to
Correct.
maybe fit closely with those 2 types, those other operations.
Yes, sir.
Harry? Anything else?
We had discussed, what was it, was it permitting that allowed us to inspect the location? What was that? You remember that, what we were talking about on that? There was a,
There was some discussion about it, but the state regulations are all,
yeah,
they have to be
that has that
inspected and all
covered.
that, so.
okay. No.
Yeah, I believe Ms. Russell had, our
In
city
her
attorney
memo.
had found that there were other cities that had that. There was a question of how long ago those have been acted. Was it because, they had done that prior to some of the state becoming more involved in regulating that? We didn't have an answer for that, but there were a few cities that did have extra regulations, but most did not, and I guess turned that responsibility, or left that responsibility with the state.
We did talk about putting some time constraints on operation hours.
Back on the inspections, was it twice a year? Is that what I recall? You said you guys were,
So the way it normally works is if they come in and they find anything wrong with like our paperwork or anything like that, then
Yeah.
we get inspected twice. If they come in and they find nothing wrong, then we only get inspected once.
once, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the hours of operation, but you had discussed, what was that?
Midnight, yeah.
I think you said midnight was gonna be.
Yeah, midnight, and that was just a,
Friday and Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Yes,
deal,
sir.
Yeah.
And then what was it that we, was it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock during the week? I couldn't remember what you talked about, or 10, I can't
I think it
remember.
was 10,
I think
actually.
it's,
but-
I think it was 10.
10?
Yeah. That's what we,
But is that part of the zoning?
Yeah, I don't think that's part of the
That's
zoning.
part, not part of
Yeah.
zoning.
No, sir.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, at this,
Yeah, B2, I
Sal-
think,
I'm sorry.
no, I just, I wouldn't see you wanting to pick C1 personally. I think
sir.
B2 would be the best bet for you guys and the most benefiting to you, to be
Yes,
honest.
sir.
Yeah.
Sal would correct me, I think the only thing where we restrict time is in
Alcohol.
the neighborhood business district.
Yeah,
when
neighborhoods,
it's
yeah.
fronting or backing into a neighborhood.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm good.
Anybody in the audience like to get up and speak?
This refers to the department does it enforcing in the ordinance. Which department is it there?
Was it, yes, I mean, still for licensing and stuff or permitting issue, it would still go to the building department. I don't know if we've actually have a draft ordinance, so is it a sample ordinance that?
Yeah,
Is that not
We're
in
looking
there?
yeah, we're looking at the state.
we're looking at
The
state,
department
so-
shall enforce
when-
this chapter.
And so that would be the state. We're looking at,
Like I'm reading 146.015, rules enforcement. The department shall enforce this chapter and the rules adapted.
That's a state.
That
Yes,
would,
the state.
Mr. Sargent, yes, that would be the state.
I didn't see any place where they define the department, so.
It's bylaws underneath the VTCA, so that's all humane health department, I thought, for the state.
Yeah, we would enforce the
Zoning,
zoning
yeah.
and any building regulations that admit compliance of the building code in occupancy.
Okay. Anybody else forever hold the peace kind of thing?
Do you have any input, young man? Nobody ever asked you.
I'm good. Sal, you got anything for us?
How, I mean, you have the zone that has a, I'm sorry. Don't hit me.
Your name?
No, I mean, if you're looking for a specific zone, I mean, the two zones, of course, allow a lot more latitude there because there are more of those. There are no C2s, so C1 and B2. If you really wanted to constrain it to one, the B2 would be the most of the, comparing to C1, so.
If there's nothing else, we'll close this public hearing. Anything else, Modesto?
No, sir.
Good. All right, we'll close the public hearing.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Do we need a motion or anything out of this, Sal? Or,
We need recommendations.
Yes, it'd be appreciated if you have a motion and recommendation to the city council.
I move to approve amending Chapter 110 zoning to add tattoo studios as permitted uses in central business B2 and commercial C1 zones.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
For Mr. Cantu's,
Or no, I'm sorry, I already did.
I already did, yeah.
Mr. Cantu, for your information, so the next public hearing would be at the council meeting on the 20th at 6:30. The planning commission's recommendation will go to them. They'll have a public hearing similar to this. At that time, the council could have possibly a first reading also at that meeting, or they could have the first reading in the third. Because I think this has probably kind of stayed very close to what council was looking at and their open discussion. There's probably a greater possibility that they could be prepared to do a first reading on the 20th, but I can't make that promise. That's council's decision.
Okay.
But if they do, and it's agreeable, then there could be a possibility that in the first meeting in January, or at the latest, the second meeting in January, the ordinance could be adopted.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for your hard work.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed night.
You do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we're all by ourselves again.
Yeah.
Signature of documents.
Thank you.
Same
Merry
to you.
Christmas, guys. Y'all have a good one.
It says signature of documents here, Sal. We got anything to sign?
No, I don't know why that's stuck in there. You really don't have
Oh, man, we're gonna set a record tonight.
Template.
any. Unless you prolong it.
Hey, I got a lot of complaints, but I know a lot of people don't wanna hear them.
Items of community interest. John?
Nothing really, other than, I was really glad to read in the paper this morning about Cole Hagan being,
Yeah, walking.
walking up and around and whatnot.
Good people.
That whole, my daughter is in that age group, but knows a whole lot of those kids and whatnot. And, I know it was very disturbing to her what happened there, but, it was really good news that he's up and around.
What grade's your daughter in?
She's a junior.
Yeah, so is mine.
Huh.
Nice. Interesting. Small world.
Small world.
Johnny Fry, you keep amazing me.
I know. I'll just keep throwing them out.
Jeff?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Harry? Matthew?
I've gotten a lot of compliments on our public works department and their speediness of writing issues with the public transport area and/or complaints. So I just wanted you to know, the public people like you, and they like you a lot. I'm ready to set a new record, boys.
Modesta, what we got new in the world?
We really, other than I want to call it the neighbors building being remodeled.
Oh, good.
In there, but it's a surgery center, but I don't know who is the group. One of you may know who that is. David couldn't tell me who it was, but it is it's going to be a surgery center.
Yeah, plastic surgery is what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Cosmetic surgery.
Yeah,
I
cosmetic
guess so.
surgery.
I didn't even know those details, but
Yeah.
Sal's been shopping.
Sal, your nose is beautiful. Don't look at that mirror anymore.
Beyond that, see what they can do.
Oh, man.
It's a good foundation.
Yeah.
Holy moly,
I'm sorry, I have nothing else.
she gets all the compliments.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey, they came to me. I didn't go fishing for support. They came to me and they said, I don't know who it is, but I mean, I know a young lady.
I'm trying to find out.
You know? Yeah.
Can you tell me who it is?
I mean, they already know you, Sal. They know you on a first name basis because they've been B&M'ing for 20 years, and you happen to be here for 20 years.
I go there and buy soda.
Yeah, buy some more sodas. Hey, that sip and save saves me money. All right, we can still set a record.
Sabrina, if you're through blushing from all the praise, yeah. Sal?
Is there any rules about wrecked cars and such being kept out of sight but in a residential area? And
Yes.
Junk vehicles?
yes,
They're not allowed. And we've been, I don't know, we've been working diligently on several. So if you know something, turn it over to
well, I
Miss
saw it
Sabrina.
when the fence was in some bad shape, but the first cul-de-sac on Banyan,
Yeah, it's harder to catch the ones behind the fence. Usually we find out about those from a neighbor complaint. But no, if you have a vehicle that is inoperable and or does not have a state inspection, it's considered a junk vehicle
Well,
and
there's
not allowed
three
on
there on
property.
that one place, so,
We'll take that address from you after the meeting.
okay.
We'll look at it.
Sal?
No, the only thing is that the constructions that are going on that you are very well aware of, the hotel. I should have stayed over there.
Strike two.
There goes my race. Whatever it was, no, the construction that's been going on, the public, you know, the private work there. We have, of course, the hotel, the apartment area that has been sort of lacking, but, you know, movement, but they're, you know, they're pouring concrete slabs. So that's a progress in itself. We also have the Winding Way. They're starting to work. They're finishing up on the first building. They're going to be starting on the second building right next to it. There, we don't know what it is yet. On the first one, we know that there is a Next Level Care. Is that the name of the clinic?
So, yes.
And there's also Marco's Pizza, which I really don't know anything about other than it's a pizza place.
Very good food.
Very good food?
Very good.
Okay,
For,
well,
for fast food pizza, surprisingly nice.
yeah, and there's not one that has been called for in that middle area, the middle stall there at that particular building. On the other ones, we don't know anything about what, you know, what's supposed to be going on. We also have construction to be that's going on at the HEB, the curbside recycle place, and they are fairly moving real fast on that particular one.
They took a bunch of trees out to do that.
Uh,
The last 3 trees they had on that side.
Yes, they did. Of course, all those trees were, you know, fair game because that's the way it was approved. So,
I wasn't here, so I can be them about it.
Azalea going through.
Azalea,
Is it gonna go through or just?
no,
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 just
we're
right there.
stopping at the Parkway line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally, we were thinking when we first put that project on queue there, it was because there was gonna be a continuation of that into the Werner property, with a plan of them going in there and doing a two-story type of multi-use type of development there that never took place, primarily because of the restrictions associated with height at that location, right there in front of the street. So that just went south and hasn't happened, it hasn't moved along since. So those are the primary projects we've got that we have going in, and as far as ours are concerned, we are completed with a recent project down at Walnut Crossing, Street Crossing. Now it's an open road there, you can go through there at your heart's content. And the structure of the project came out really nice. Mr. Sanchez was the main author of that particular project, so he ran an inspection on it today, so.
In downtown?
The downtown, we have a meeting tomorrow, I believe, and it is for, well, really what it is, the stakeholder, general public, not just stakeholder. It's, you know, going in there and giving them giving a schedule, giving the whole details of the project, which is, we're gonna be starting sometime at the start of the year. We don't know when. The contractor hasn't given us a firm schedule, but we know that it's gonna start at the start of the year. They have 18 months to complete. They gave us a schedule for 12 months. Anywhere between 12 and 18 probably is gonna be the final project on that.
And so, and you anticipate construction will start somewhere at, I mean, where do you think construction?
Okay, the way it is phased in right now, it is that way from Oyster Creek down to the local where we left off the last one is gonna be the first phase. Of course, they're gonna phase that phase into several steps there. So that'll be the first one, then they'll move over into the Circle Way as you know, some of the phases. They divide that up into 6 phases. So we're looking at those two streets, and then the final phase would be the parking place project. Associated with the parking place, we are gonna be removing, or we are hoping to remove all those covers that are in street right-of-way on what amounts to be the west side of North Parking Place. There where what is it, what's the, not how to say jujitsu, not say jujitsu, what is that?
Jim Gosthouse.
Yeah, that building there, all that block on that side is gonna be removed. And we're just trying to find, trying to get their release on us going in there and tearing those things out. Once we do that, we're gonna go in there and tear that out, waiting for the second complete demolition phase of the downtown project.
So that'll give us the ability, by removing the canopy, it'll give us the ability to make everything ADA accessible properly.
Okay.
Correct, now, some of the other canopies will not be removed. Look, for example, the Champagne canopy or in that general area will not be touched. The same thing here on the other side of North Parking Place, whatever canopies there are over there will not be touched. So that's the whole project list right now and where we are gonna be shortly.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Milford?
We are still currently 5 minutes short of the shortest recording that we've had since we started live stream.
Setting records.
Felston?
No, but just for your information, they mentioned the next level care. For your information, that's a clinic that serve the county and the city personnel dedicated to serving us. That's just for your information.
So we can't go there, but you can.
Yeah, this one is open to the public.
Ah.
That one-
This
Where
one
is
is
it
open to the
located?
public. It's just, they provide a similar service,
Yeah. Cool.
a private clinic for city employees and county employees.
Cool.
Good. Thank you.
And our very special honored guest, Sally?
Hey.
Miss you guys.
We miss you too.
Y'all's next meeting is January the 4th.
Fourth.
January 4th, yes.
January 4th.
January the 4th, the young lady said.
22, 1/4/22.
Awesome.
One more year.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
This meeting's adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Do we have a minutes or something?
Can you